The 7th installment, entitled The Princeless Bride, is a game riddled with good intentions, but it is indicative of the constant evolution of the series. At this point in Sierra's history, they had all but abandoned the old SCI engine, which treated them well these many years, for something younger, something newer, something more up with the times and a bit more visually stimulating.
Mercifully not going the route of the FMV, they instead decided on a mix of traditional cell animation and computer animation. This again was the guinea pig for this new technology, and while not as bad as the growing pains suffered in King's Quest V, it still suffers for it. While not being a bad game, the method was not really perfected until later when used for Torrens Passage and Space Quest VI, and then made even better in Leisure Suit Larry Love for Sale.
The games have always had a decidedly family-friendly feel to them, dealing mostly in fairy tale and fable, but finally exhausting their supply, they've had to resort to just cobbling together what other scraps of mythology they could find laying around on the office floor. So we've gone from things like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin to jackalopes and Fifi?
No, not Fifi.
King's Quest VII also took many more departures from the series in the alleged quest for progress. Beyond the obvious technical and graphical upgrades, the quest was designed to be a standalone story, not requiring the player to have experienced any of the previous games to know what was going on. Second, the rule of saving early and saving often here does not apply, since now the death in the game carries no consequence. You can simply try again and instantly reincarnate on the spot, and while understandable and perhaps almost a welcome upgrade, it really detracts from the challenge.
Think Bioshock and those goofy Vita chambers they have. Handy, sure, but removes any kind of feeling of danger or caution. You can just go derping into any situation without fear because your decision of walking straight into the maw of a giant Gila monster will go largely unpunished. And yes, derping is a verb.
So we find Rosella, Princess of Daventry, spinning around in the Viridescent Hills whining that there isn't enough adventure in her life. As if the life of fairy tale splendor and dragon kidnappings of the magical realm of Daventry aren't enough, and also that she's being pressured to marry.
Yes, I'm so excited. I want to run and hide.
Oh, does this remind you of anything?
Go to Gamelon and find my father.
Great! I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos!
We're also reintroduced to Queen Valanise, just returning from her valiant quest of doing absolutely jack for the entirety of the series, and how wonderful that we're finally hearing from her for the first time, and her first impression is of that of an overbearing shrew.
Oh, Mother! But Rosella, I happen to know that Prince Throckmorton of Montecourt is just mad about you.
He's so boring.
He's not boring, Rosella. He's reliable.
Rosella, as would any sane person, would rather drown herself than listen to this and dives headfirst into an unfamiliar pond. Valanise dives right in after her to bring us up right into Chapter 1. Yes, this game has chapters, and you can skip between them capriciously, skipping forward if you get stuck, and with no penalty since there is no more scorekeeping.
Gee, are there any other long-standing adventure game traditions you'd like to spit up all over King's Quest VII?
The plot starts off fairly good family-friendly fantasy fare, but quickly collapses in upon its own weight, with Valanise stomping on it from the top and Rosella pulling at it from the bottom. Queen Valanise is unceremoniously dumped in a desert and quickly proves why she was never given a starring role in an adventure game up until now.
Blast! What is this place?
Bet you'd be great to take on a camping trip. Now, it's also here when we get the first sign that I wasn't going to like this game. Wow, oh, seamless, guys. Really seamless. As if the song, goofy voice acting, and the art style weren't deterrent enough.
Valanise follows the general adventure game formula by exploring the area, solving a few rudimentary puzzles, and winning the hearts and minds of the locals. What's interesting here is the new inventory system, which keeps everything handy and in view, and is able to be examined in 3D! A basket is more than a basket in 3D! You can find a piece of corn in there! A piece of corn in 3D! Hey, look! A stick!
In 3D!
Oh, that'll never get old.
Eventually, after a little problem solving and getting back at that stupid jackalope for ruining our first impressions of the game, we pass through a portal which brings us to Chapter 2. Well, I guess we'll leave Valanise hanging on and see what's happening with Rosella since being pulled into the vortex of hell. Rosella is now on the other side of the looking glass, and when in Rome, do as the Romans. In this case, substitute Rome for a kingdom of trolls and Romans for trolls. And the first half of this chapter is Rosella whining.
I'm a troll? Oh! I'm a troll. How can I be a troll? I'm not a troll, am I? I can't believe I'm a troll!
Everyone in this underground land seems to have noticed a change in the Troll King who brought you here, some going so far as to calling him an impostor. Well, their political problems being of no concern to you, it is high time to get de-trollified. Fortunately, in adventure games, every problem can be corrected with some sort of salve, potion, unguent, or elixir requiring ridiculous and unrelated ingredients. The magic gunk is created in short order, and you are returned to normal as we are introduced to the main villain, Malicia. Her intent is to activate a volcano capable of destroying the entire land, and the building of something considerably more evil on its ashes, but more on her later.
Eventually, she works her way free of Volcanics and up to Chapter 3.
We rejoin Valanise fresh from her run-in with a giant Gila monster and find herself in a forested area outside of an annoying little town called Falderal. Of nearby interest is a talking stag introducing himself as Lord Attis, protecting a dying tree he calls Lady Ceres, supposedly the goddess of agriculture in cursed form. And why a Greek god should be guarding a Roman one is beyond me. Turns out to be another one of Malicia's ill-doings and the first of the big quests. Your goal is to restore these two statues to their former glory. Restoring the first is simple enough with the help of a squeaky-voiced hummingbird that gives me flashbacks to the rat of King's Quest V.
Do you desire some sacred nectar? Oh, thank you, good sir.
And fills a jug with nectar and bam! River, restored Attis. Well, we'll have to wait to restore the other one for now, but that's at least one of our worries down. It is time for a fine visit to Falderal.
Once in the town proper, you're introduced to its leader. A name so goofy I dare not repeat it. So please, introduce yourself.
I, Archduke Fifila Yip Yip, do order it.
I both love and hate this town. It has a few clever puzzles, my favorite of which is finding the faux shop, which you are reminded to take with a grain of salt. Therefore, ingesting some salt allows you entrance. It's also full of the more annoying characters in the game.
Will you take me to him, please?
The sky is falling! I'm a mockingbird, lady. What do you expect? You, my loyal subject.
The goal of this place is to find some other magical lotion to make your way through the dark woods and past the bears.
Stop!
To do so, you need to procure a mask to wear for Archduke Fifi. Almost got me to say it, didn't you?
Archduke Fifila Yip Yip.
His masquerade ball to sneak in and steal a statue. This you will eventually trade to the snaky salesman right outside for the cream that you need. This mission is preempted by the sky falling.
The sky is falling!
Well, crap. Having the moon right there within grabbing distance is just too good. We have got to have that thing. We'll just bend over and gingerly pick it up.
Blast! I can't reach it.
Gingerly pick it up.
Gingerly pick up the friggin' moon, you royal pain in the... Highness? Bend over and pick up the moon. What, do you have a steel rod in your spine? Ugh.
Lacking the ability to bend at the waist, you have to solve yet another mini-puzzle to acquire yet another item with the sole purpose of fishing out the moon from an oversized bird bath. This gets her arrested for lunar larceny, and we are treated to a lovely cliffhanger to take us into Chapter 4. It's almost become a habit by now. And now we spend much of the remainder of the game in the much more interesting but unfortunately named Ooga Booga. As Rosella once again, you don't solve many puzzles, but just stumble across random objects and deliver them to somebody else. Lost your rat? Here you go. Lost your spine? Found one laying around outside. There are a few important items around here, the most important of which you'll receive from a talking cat you rescue who is so grateful that she relinquishes one of her 9 lives.
The king of the trolls is imprisoned in the home of the boogeyman, beneath the deadfall.
After a little trouble learning how to recognize when it's safe to dig or not, you finally reach the holding place of the real Troll King and pop the top.
Your Majesty? King Otar?
You'd think he'd be more in a hurry to get the hell out of there, or at least act the slightest bit surprised or happy to be rescued. But his reticence is both of your undoings as Malicia locks you both in there. Escape is pretty simple, as you and the Troll King, now shrunk down to pocket size with the Deus Ex wand he conjures up, hunts for a way back to his hometown to confront Malicia's imposter Troll King.
To those who know this game well, I know it seems like I'm skipping a lot of content here, but keep in mind this is like a 7-hour long game and the elements involving the main storyline are many and of varying importance. So unless you guys want to sit through a series of 40-minute long videos, I can't explain everything. Whew. Okay. So where were we? Oh yeah.
So eventually you find the secret path back down to Volcanix, inexplicably hidden in Fifi's house in Falderal, and enter the volcano's control room?
You know, I would have been less incredulous if there was some sort of magical means that Malicia could use to start the volcano. What's the purpose of a machine? What is the possible point? It seems hard to swallow. I mean, was it pre-built? Was it already there? Did the trolls make it? Did she make it? What's possible use is a machine that simply has a lever that goes from hunky-dory to all dead?
In any case, the button has been pressed just as the chapter ends and shoves us back into the kicky pumps of Valanise for the last major stint of the game, where we get to resolve a good deal of loose ends before the game completely loses its mind on us.
Hello? Leaving too much out? Didn't I just explain? No, I am not going to go over everything. It's what? Repeat what you say to provide exposition. You know what? You know, fine. You guys want to hear everything? Here's everything.
You put the moon back in the sky using a rubber chicken, use the salve and now zoom past the werebear into Ooga Booga and up into a pumpkin house where you'll get a bone that you give to a ghost dog who tells you to rescue his cursed bastard, which you do by giving him back his head, but it's locked in a crypt that you have to blow open with a firecracker that you can't hold for too long, and then you give the horseman his head and let the flying horse that totally is a nightmare fly up to Etheria, and here you listen to some little dragon thing sing, and use that tune to meet the three fates who are helpful and at the same time not, but then you get to see Queen Mab in a dream world, so you totally do, and she's like, I'm frozen, and then they say a shiny crystal will thaw her, so you go talk to the Dreamweaver who lets you take it to Dreamland where Mab is all okay like, hey thanks bye, here's a bridle. Grab the ambrosia from Etheria to give to the last statue to make a bunch of fruit, and give a fruit to Lady Celeste, who is still a tree, and somehow fruit fixes it. She's like, yay, let's make flowers. Then you catch a horse made of wind or clouds or something, but oh no, you get attacked by another cloud wind thing that yet another cloud wind thing yells at him for. Then you tell the daddy wind cloud thing that you need to find Oberon and Titiana, king and queen of the fairies, to help with the volcano because they're all searching for their lost kidnapped son, but somehow they find him immediately, and they're all like, Zong, with the lava and the burning, and let's go. Valanise say, hey, I want to come too.
The things I do for you.
We have finally reached endgame. The real and false Troll Kings are duking it out as one of the Troll Kings tells you to use the magic wandy thing he hooked you up with to turn the fake Troll King into, well, something not Troll Kingish. Now, which one's which?
Rosella, no! Don't! No, stop! Don't! Oh!
Yeah, I got a good feeling about this one.
Oh, no! Don't do it! Oh, no, no, no!
Oops.
Using the wand on the fake Troll King does nothing, but it turns out that you have one of those new multi-setting magic wands, and by spinning it around in 3D, you can change the setting from true Troll King to false Troll King. And just why did the Troll King have this thing anyway? Whatever the reason, you aim your Deus Ex Machina and fire right between his beady little eyes, and he turns into Daryl Hall.
Oh, Daryl, you're such a stud muffin.
Yeah, it turns out this, get ready for this, Edgar from King's Quest IV, Perils of Rosella.
Yeah, I know. So, what are the odds, right? So, dig this little piece of retroactive engineering. So, I remember in King's Quest IV, how Edgar is the son of Lalote and then gets transformed into a handsome prince by Genesta at the end as a reward for helping Rosella escape. Well, scratch that origin story. So apparently Edgar was a handsome prince the whole time and was just transmogrified by Lalote.
He's also the son of Oberon and Titania, who apparently is the easiest to kidnap and transform member of royalty ever. This lasts for about 10 seconds before Malicia, in all her almighty power, gently moves Edgar 10 feet into the hallway and wishes Rosella into the cornfield. Oh wait, volcano. Totally meant volcano. No, not to worry, the newly restored pantheon of gods will help solve this problem. I don't think a spiderweb is going to hold back a torrent of lava spewing forth from the earth at Mach 4. Meanwhile, how does Rosella figure her way out of this one?
Oh, bullshit! You can't claw your way through solid rock! I'm pretty sure that mountains are made out of stronger stuff. Who makes their volcanoes out of mud?
After making your way back into the control room and waking up the unconscious Troll King and stopping the Doomsday device, it's time for all of the main characters to get together and sort this whole mess out. Valanise and Rosella are finally reunited, Edgar just kind of waltzes back in, and Malicia, who is smart and powerful enough to imprison and curse 6 deities, just can't seem to deal with 2 idiot mortals, and decides now is as good a time as any to do what she should have done 4 chapters ago and kill them. The world's shortest and quietest climactic battle ensues, and Edgar, for reasons I have yet to fathom, turns his back on her mid-fight and therefore rightly gets himself killed. Fortunately, she decides to move up to point-blank range and very slowly start to work on Rosella, which gives her ample time to use the next in a long line of Deus Ex Machinas, a mysterious device given to you by the Troll King, which is given no explanation of its origin or purpose. You're just supposed to know that's a magical death ray.
Babality.
It's here when Titania and Oberon finally decide to show up and mourn the death of their son, leading to one of the peppier game endings I've ever seen. Remember that extra life we had laying around in our inventory?
Edgar, would you show me the sights of Etheria?
Meanwhile, in Rivendell...
It's so beautiful.
So, this is the way that the King's Quest series proper ends. King Graham has donned his adventurer's cap 3 times, Alexander twice, Rosella twice, and even Miss Damsel in Distress herself gets some time in the sun. Not the best way to go out, really, and I'm still curious as to why this game is so beloved by so many.
The story is full of contrivances and conveniences. The animation is choppy, the sound effects are ridiculous, the voice acting off, and the puzzles simplified. And that's the bad stuff, but the good stuff does shine through. The graphics and scrolling backgrounds were impressive for the time. Everything is colorful and engaging, and the clever new inventory system, though underused, was a fun little feature and a nice touch by the developers.
Alright guys, we have covered all 7 King's Quest canon games. So we have The Quest for the Crown, Romancing the Throne, To Err is Human, The Perils of Rosella, Absence Makes the Heart Go Yonder, Err Today, Gone Tomorrow, and The Princeless Bride. An 8? No, wait. There's... The book doesn't make mention of an 8th game. Why does this have me worried? I don't think that went well at all, because they really fell all over my words with that thing. And a bit more visually stimulating. Not really. I'm pretending. Quest for the Crown. We've got Romancing the Throne. We've got There's 2 games with the word air in it, alright? Why am I so airheaded? But oh, pa!